Hello, everyone. This is Sandy. This is a talk that I'm going to do, and I call it In the Beginning. And the chart that I have here on the screen is for you to be able to perhaps follow along with what it is I'm attempting to impart to you. So at the top here, just follow my cursor. Hopefully I'll keep up with myself. You are spirit, or I am spirit. And as a spirit, I am part of the whole. Now we can call the whole whatever we like, God, creator, universe. It really doesn't matter. It all means the same thing. And so an aspect of that whole wants to experience itself down here on earth to have a physical experience so they can expand and grow and learn. So a little aspect of that comes away from the whole, and that is me in spirit, ready to come to earth for a human experience. So I need to find two people to make me a physical body, so I find myself a mother and a father. All right, so what I'm saying is I'm in control of this whole journey, that I just don't randomly appear here, that I do know that what I'm doing, and right from the very beginning, I consciously took this journey. All right, and 9 months later, if you go down to the bottom of the triangle at the bottom, I am born and I come in as a soul in a physical body. So a soul is an aspect of spirit. So again, it's like the vibrations are being lowered into form as time goes on. So soul is an aspect of spirit, and the soul essence is experienced on earth as feelings. Down here, feelings. For me, authentic feelings are higher mind or consciousness or awareness. To manifest consciously from this aspect of ourselves, we need to feel, think, and go over to here, and then act, and then come down for the next feeling. That is the true formula for manifestation. From the day we are born, we're programmed by our parents as they were by theirs. Science and religion play a role in the rules and regulations, which are based on duality. Positive and negative science, and good and bad is religion. Our first 12 years are the most vital. This is when we learn or don't learn a strong foundation for life. I'll go over the 12 foundational stones in another discussion, and this is why the power of 12 is used in courts, this sort of thing. So, but anyway, it's another discussion for another day. By the time we're 7, the greatest learning is in place. This is during the years we cannot understand the true thought process. We are very vulnerable during this time because we are pure feeling, absorbing the world around us. The powers who think they are in control of humanity know this, and that is why we go to school in most cases at the age of 5. Society gets us for 2 years to install their foundational program into us. So by the time we are 7, our beautiful selves start looking a little bit like this over here, the matrix, the programmed me. And we are veiled from our true authentic selves. So you can see I've got the veil of illusion in the middle between the as above, so below. So the veil is covering over the fact that we are spirit having a human experience, so that now we only thinking in physical terms. We give our power to our brain, right brain, left brain, we give our power to our brain, which is a computer of sorts, and then we start thinking and acting. And when we're thinking and acting, we're in the program, the taught behavior, which is emotional. We have also been trained to believe that feeling, being emotional, and emotion are all the same thing, when in fact they're all different. I'll explain. feeling down at the bottom of the chart here is the real you, the real authentic you. Emotional over here is the program. And emotion, which is by the left brain there, is energy moving into actions. That's why I've got emotion. Emotion. It is movement. It is movement. And we can either manifest from the emotional body or from our feeling body. Depends on where we're putting our energy. If we're putting our energy here, we're going to emotionally manifest something. If we're putting our energy from here, we're going to manifest something from our feelings, which will be far more balanced and beneficial for us. So, so let's look at the difference between the two. When we are being emotional, there's always drama of sorts, outside or inside ourselves. So feelings are when we respond to situations, and being emotional is reaction. So what's the difference between those two? Responding is taking an action without the drama. If it needs doing, then we just do it. Reaction has personality attached to it. I don't want to, I don't like this. Or it is externally based, blaming outside ourselves. Feelings are acceptance in the moment, and being emotional is attachment to the outcomes of the moment. So what's the difference there? If you accept exactly what's going on right now and you rise to the challenge and respond to it, you will have a better outcome than when you're attached to the outcomes of something and you're reacting. You know, we can fly off the handle or react in ways that just don't serve us or doesn't serve anybody else. All right. So the next feeling is unconditional. So unconditional giving and doing, I'm blurbbling. So the next one is unconditional giving. And in the emotional realm, it's conditional giving. So as we know that when you're conditional, there is an expectation of a return of some kind. When you're giving unconditionally, there is no expectation of any return. You're doing it because you love and care for someone, and that is what you want to do. So feeling is clear motives, and being emotional is expectation. So if you're clear and you understand exactly why you're doing what you're doing, it's easy. It's easy. There is no ulterior motive. There is just doing because this is what I'm enjoying doing and I get the satisfaction from it. And that's what's important. But when it's has expectation of return, this is where disappointment comes in. And it's like, you know, I'll give you a little carrot over here, but I expect you to do blah, 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 blah. And you can see how that's murky ground. And that can never bring satisfaction. In fact, it often ends up in absolute disappointment. So coming back to feelings, when we're being spontaneous, or is obligation. So obligation is one of the hardest of all of these, I think, to overcome, because it has been so programmed into us that we are obliged to do just about everything. And so to get over this is difficult, and we need to actually challenge ourselves to say, I'm going to do this. Now, I did this one year. I decided that's it. I'm not going to buy presents just because it's birthdays or Christmas anymore. I'm going to only buy things when I see them. If I think, oh, that'll be nice for so-and-so, I'll buy it and I'll give it to them straight away. And I'm not going to be obliged, because it's their birthday, to have to rush out and buy something. I will do it during the year when I feel that I see something that might be something that they would like. My goodness me, it was so hard for me. I mean, I really had to tie myself up sometimes and put my hands behind my back and not rush out when it was a birthday. And I did explain to people I wasn't going to do gift giving from obligation anymore. I got over it. I got over it eventually. And now I'm free to just buy what I want when I want, and I don't do the obligation anymore. But anyway, there's lots more obligation than just gift buying too. We feel obliged to do all sorts of things, help people out. We can't say no. You know, it just goes on. I'm sure we all understand this. So, but that obligation is a programmed response, reaction, sorry. So the next one under feelings I've got here is self-loyalty versus selfishness. So selfishness is when I am the most important person in the world, and everything I want, and I expect that you will give it to me, and if you don't, I'm going to lay some heavy trip on you so that you feel obliged to do so. Self-loyalty is more about I am loyal to how I feel, how I think, and how I act. I will say no if it doesn't feel right to me. And in a group, I will be loyal to myself within the group. And loyalty can sometimes mean self-sacrifice. So if you're in a group of people, like we are with CLA, sometimes we have ideas that we think will be great, but we've got to remember that we're working with a greater group, and of course, everybody has their own ideas. And it's to look at things for the good of the group, not from my ego. So if I'm doing something for the good of the group and I have an idea that is separate from what everybody else thinks, self-loyalty is either first sacrifice what I want for the greater good of the group and go with it. That means I actually accept that I'm going to let go, and I let go, and that's the end of the story. And then I go with the flow with everybody else and get on board with it and make whatever it is that's going to happen. Or if I'm dead against what the group are doing, and I think that I can't live with going that way, then it's my job to use the law of repulse, which is one of the laws of the soul, and move myself out of that group. All right, self-responsibility, of course, selfishness we've covered. Okay, now we go down to feelings, which is self-responsibility. And self-responsibility is that I am responsible for everything I put into action. I'm responsible for the outcomes of my decisions. I'm responsible for how I respond or react to situations. That's my responsibility. If I become a performing seal and I'm jumping up and down, making a song and a dance and creating big drama because I'm not getting my own way, no one's making me do that. I'm doing it. I'm responsible for it. So it's me that has to look at my behavior, and because there's no one else in here pushing my buttons. And that's part of it, is that we all have these buttons that we've grown up with from our parents and from life in general. And those buttons that get pushed, that's what we need to heal. Because when you don't have buttons, there is nothing to push. So therefore, we're much more balanced human being. In the emotional realm, we get into blaming and making excuses. It's everyone else's fault. Oh, there was a lot of traffic. I couldn't get on time. There was the red lights all the way. And there's all those things. We just make excuses and we blame outside ourselves rather than just stepping back and saying, you know, next time I just need to leave a bit earlier if it's anything to do with getting somewhere on time. So there we are. That's given you an idea of how we get into this programmed response or reaction, this programmed reaction that we have in life. And it's given you the information on what you need to do if you really want to be your authentic self, is to start applying feelings to your life and start catching yourself in the mode of being emotional and understanding the difference. That's where it all starts. Now, the next little video that I'm going to do for you will be on how we can use the power of our voice behind our words to help us be successful in times of perhaps being pulled up by a policeman or just working with everybody on a day-to-day basis. So thank you very much for letting me share. I really enjoyed that today.